TGIF Warriors. Hello, Richard Angeles. How have you been? Sinatra, you don't like that little clicking feedback? Me either. Richard Angeles, Sinatra, Bran, Ryan Littlestone. It is
Good
Friday
morning,
night. Estelle.
TGIF, everybody.
Yeah.
Dale Pinkert.
So I feel generous this morning, so I just want to show something here in the S&Ps. This low right here yesterday, where it looked like we're going to have a trend break. Who remembers the 2-week reversal little technique method that I've shared over the years? Any of you guys remember that? I call it 2-week reversal, 2-week off number. Anyway, yeah, okay, Michael remembers it. So these numbers come into play during the week. So here's a pretty good example. It doesn't happen all the time, but if you just count back 2 weeks from this week, the close was 40. Let me get this. The close was 41.15. Okay, so that's what's needed for a 2-week reversal. So that's 7 handles from here. If we close under 41.15, you have a 2-week reversal. But the point I want to make is that you can use these numbers for more than just reversals. Look at and it came off this level pretty good yesterday, late session. What was the low? 41.15. So there's a few ways to use these numbers if you want to. Probably going to have to write them down or have a spreadsheet or something. I don't remember them. Just for some key markets, I have them. But you could use it, say, for example, you were short. What a good place to cover. Okay. You could use it for initiating a position, knowing that the market's going to be good or bad from that level. Okay. So very simple technique. It's about the memory to the left, market memories to the left, and it's about 11 days of memory, and it's a Friday close, which are important for how a market does on the week. And just thought if, I haven't talked about it for a while, I'll give you a quick little refresher, but it's simple. All you do is just count back from the week you're on 2 candles, and the off number is the close of that candle on a weekly, and it could come into play on any time zone. Okay. So we'll see if the S&Ps hold it or we get that 2-week reversal. Some of the strength really got massacred, and even the leader. Let me just show you NVIDIA. We already know Bitcoin broke down. Where is that NVIDIA? So it's been, here it is. Here it is. Look at that. Okay, so, I still think that the market's vulnerable. We'll see. Yeah, I tweeted yesterday, guys, everyone came into April. Wow, it's going to be such a bullish month. It's the most bullish month out there. And is it really bullish? Because the S&Ps are up, I think, 10 handles on the month. And things like semis are lower on the month. Even precious metal shares with their, recent sell-off. So, they're included in risk on too, right? There's the weekly. And on the month, let's see if it's still higher. Still higher, but on the verge of not much, right? Last month's close, and these were some of the stronger markets. So for continued risk on, 1968 is the monthly off number. Anyway, a reversal. So April hasn't been as bullish. It's got about 9 days left. I'm just thinking, especially if we had a breakdown in the S&Ps and we broke trend on it today, that everyone who was long, and they'll stay long because they still think April will bail them out, and so that they could sell in May and go away. But if we start breaking down now, they could sell in May and go away, but it's not going to be at the top of this rally if it turns out to be a failing rally. I want to come to you guys now on the dollar. It's been so we don't have a 2-week reversal. That's going to happen. We have at 101.63. So I think it's the toughest call on the board right now, what to do with the dollar. Ryan, what do you think? I mean, pretty quiet week.
Yeah, it is. And we've been talking about it on the Flow Show this morning as well. It's par for the course. We look at the data. Look at the data that's come out over the last day or so. We had all that good UK labour report, high CPI, and then today retails are rubbish. We're seeing services PMIs coming in great, manufacturing PMIs coming in bad. We had the Empire good, the Philly Fed bad. We're just bumping along. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason to say things are booming. There's no reason to say things are busting, and that's what the markets are trading. There's no direction, so we just range. We just range until we get something that kicks us out of that range. And that's been the case this week. You see it there with your Dixie.
Right here. This was last Friday.
Yeah.
So it didn't negate it, but there had been limited follow through from this candle. I mean, if you bought Friday's close, you're not making a lot of money.
No, so you get a decent move on the data, and then it does nothing because you're waiting for the next data point. And if the data point doesn't, have a big variation or give you something shocking to trade, you do nothing. But there is enough to trade. We are getting moves. We saw that from the UK data. The CPI numbers this week that kicked off moves. But where are we left now? Cables all the way back down again.
Yeah, why the strength in euro? I was talking to Julian Brigden yesterday, and he said that they're using euro for the carry trades now. Correct? I believe that's what he said.
Maybe. I mean, that would explain, some of the strength against your currencies like the yen.
Okay.
You're getting NAF all in. So
he said if we had risk off, euro would go up because of that.
Could be. But then you've also got the state of play rates are going up in Europe. And if investors want safe places to park their money and get some yield, you go to the US, you go to Europe. You don't go to Japan because there's no yield. You also come to the UK, and you're going to favour those perhaps over some of the lesser countries and lesser economies like Aussie, Kiwi, maybe some of the EMs. So it's all about money sloshing around and where it's going to go. And when you've got the ECB hiking away, that's good for investors, looking for yield.
This line you gave me yesterday for the yen contained it.
Yeah.
So it looks like 33 is going to be the battleground.
Yeah, we've got a little level band here, 60, 80 odd, 133, 60, 80. So if the PMIs from the US, if they come in bad, we'll probably break that and we'll probably be testing 133. But can I see it going past that? Not really.
Okay.
So, but that's, if you want to trade, that's what you're going to look at. Where are your stretch levels if we do make a move lower? If you're not short, you can get short up against 134, 30, 50.
All right.
On a good number. Yeah, you've always got somewhere to trade. That's a good thing. As much as I'm not giving anything that's excitement to say this is going this way or another way, but we've always got to trade if we plan it.
Okay. Kman, you around?
Hi, Dale. Hello, everybody.
Hey, how are you, man? So, what do you think of this yuan action? It's kind of a weird chart, isn't it? It's almost like, if you were on a defibrillator, you get the heart going and then it's just Nothing with occasional spikes.
Exactly. So we are waiting for something to break somewhere. If I look at it, the way it's coming back up, I've got a small preference of this sooner or later breaking that perhaps do 1.5% to the top side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the rest, again, on the dollar and the euro, especially if you look at the differentials, I'm always looking at the differentials in. Actually, the differentials are very much in favor of the euro right now, and also there's been quite a bit of inflows. We've seen this in March. We've seen this the first half of April as well. There's quite a bit of inflows in Europe, and so. It may explain as well that your US indices remain relatively stable, but then if you look at stuff like okay, for this month, it's the performance is relatively flat still, but you look at the year-to-date performances in European in European indices versus the rest of the world, they are pretty spectacular to be honest. And I think a lot has to do with that in euro strength. The euro versus the crosses, especially euro dollar doesn't move, but the euro crosses are extremely big. And taking into consideration that all the yen crosses have seen a big slap around the ears overnight, euro yen is still only like not even 0.5% lower of where we were trading most of the day yesterday. So yeah, that's where we need to find a lot of that euro strength. And if you look at your Dixie then, which is 55% euro dollar, it's
Right.
logic that it doesn't really move much or doesn't go much lower. But that's also have to do with the stability in the euro dollar, because if you look at the rest, I mean, Kiwi is a percent lower than yesterday.
Yeah. Aussie pretty weak.
Sorry, sir?
Aussie pretty weak.
Yeah,
too.
Aussie was a bit of a surprise. We were scratching our head a little bit this morning because it had a reasonable PMI, and yet it got slammed. So thinking about is probably somewhere Aussie yen as well, or Euro Aussie as well. There's a lot going on in the crosses right now. A lot.
Okay. Gold silver ratio tried to bottom. Maybe we're going to get another retest. Silver's still tougher than gold, especially today. Gold down 1%, silver down 0.5. Go to Stel and still looks lower, doesn't it?
It does. For those who follow that that third position that I had got long, luckily near the lows, 24.62, if I recall, I put the stop in at 24.98. Got triggered, then obviously it bounces after that. But anyway, you know, that little position did well, and I'm just I still think there's a potential for another leg lower. I still have 2/3 of my position from way below, and I'm keeping that, and I'm looking to buy back the other third in the case of a breakdown. But you know, it's going to depend on a lot of things. If you know, the S&P is at very close to that 4100, 4115 level that you were talking about, if that goes, risk assets should go lower, and naturally metals follow. So I'm a little bit cautious. I like, as you probably know, easing in and easing out of positions, and that's what I'm trying to do. So just holding
levels?
pat for the moment. Not yet. Obviously, that 24.60 breakout level for silver is big. 24.55, sorry, what was it? 50 something. That's a big level. That really has to hold on a move lower. But I'm not going to try that this time. You know, I tried it last time, 24.62. I got long. I'm not going to try it this time, because I think if we revisit that, the chances are probably more than 50-50 that we break below back below. So
the measured move from here to here, if we break down, would give you 23.
Yeah.
Just the, you know, the width of the formation. Almost some people could say we're putting in a right shoulder here if we break down. Head and shoulder stop.
Yeah.
Left shoulder,
could be.
head, you know, and you know, or triangle, something.
Yeah, not
So, yeah,
perfectly symmetrical, but it looks good. Yeah, you
Yeah.
could do.
You know, I mean, this is a big level because it broke out, it tested it again. And
Yes.
I'm with you, man. Anytime a market says, well, you know, you miss a breakout here, but we'll let you get in here. Okay, this time don't miss it. And then if it tries it again, well, okay, you missed this. We'll give you one more opportunity to buy a breakout test. Get more skeptical and jaded the more a market tests a critical breakout area. It's like, you know, running into a door with your shoulder. You know, by the third time you could break through. So
Yeah.
just, you know, good observation there.
Depends on the door.
That's true. And Steve, you always have an open door for everybody. You know, strangers, bums on the street, they not come in your door, you cook them a meal, and everyone should have a door like Steve Volke, the open door.
Me, the philanthropist, right?
What? Yeah.
Me, the philanthropist.
Yeah, isn't that an oxymoron?
It is. Nice thing. Two Greek words in a row. Philanthropist, Philos
Yeah.
του ανθρώπου, friend of the human, and
Yeah.
oxymoron,
Yeah.
which comes from the word oxys and moros meaning crazy or with a childish brain. So I love your knowledge of Greek.
I tell you what, you can't escape the root of languages going there. There's no way. Everything is Greek. And it's all Greek to me. So, Steve, you have levels in gold where you want to step. I know you're, you know, happy about the fact that we're getting a correction. When you add, are you doing it with physical or futures, or how do you do it?
No, I have the physical I want in metals. I didn't have silver, but I got several months ago, if you remember.
Yeah.
And now I'm just trading it in the financial markets.
Okay. All right.
But
Platinum?
the physical is not a short-term position, as you understand, right?
Right.
Mean, if all goes well, my son will inherit
I know you're going to say that.
Yeah.
If all goes well, your son will marry one of my daughters.
Yes, exactly. And we can combine our precious metals. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, there'd be some crazy holidays there. What do you think about Stealth laughing? Platinum continuing is really strong on the verge of becoming parabolic. It's trying to narrow the spread. I bet the spreads come in $200-300 in the last week or two between gold and platinum.
Platinum Steve flagged it so well when platinum broke out of that channel, right? And he said that at the time it was 1070, and we've gone straight up. So
Platinum has really produced a valid breakout. Can I take the chart for a second, Dale?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So platinum has actually done it, right? We've produced now this breakout from the 2-year, a little bit more than 2-year descending channel. We can note the difference here. Impulsive move higher, right?
Not seeing it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
My mistake. Sorry.
It's starting.
Now you should be able to see it. So
yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Impulsive move higher.
Yeah.
Corrective move lower. Right. Completely different characteristics of the two moves.
Yeah.
And we've now broken out. Now, it's not only that. Let's add something else to the mix, since I know you love them. What is this? Because indirectly you've had conversations about that multiple times, Dale.
Palladium?
This is the gold palladium ratio.
Yeah. Okay.
Gold palladium ratio. Look at how beautiful of a breakdown, right?
Yeah.
We've had here, and how much of an impulsive move lower this gold to palladium to platinum. Sorry, my mistake. Gold to platinum. I said palladium.
Okay.
Gold to platinum ratio, right? So look at the impulsive breakdown in favor of platinum.
Right.
Right. And we still have, historically speaking, look at this.
Oh yeah, I remember it like 2014. Probably it was still at a premium.
Just imagine.
It was at a
Two-
premium my whole career.
2010,
Yeah.
the ratio was at 0.66.
Yeah.
Right. That means platinum was a lot more expensive. And we're
Yeah.
currently, despite this recent pullback, are trading at 177.
It's just starting.
So only a reversion to the mean here, right? You understand how much
Yeah.
of a move we can see this
Yeah.
making to the downside, right?
Yeah. Probably the trade of the year.
Yeah. So
Probably a better trade than just being outright long gold.
if somebody doesn't want to take the risk, yeah, although we have to be honest here, right?
There's risk.
There is always risk. In essence,
Yeah.
somebody would say, you know, something. If you trade the gold platinum ratio, then you don't really have any exposure to what happens to the metals. That is not true, and that is not true because at a decent extent, it's not absolute, but at a decent extent, we do know that if all the metal complex starts doing badly, probably gold is going to be holding up better. Probably.
Right.
Now, against silver, that's a fact. Against platinum, it's not such a straightforward thing, but it might be the case as well, right? Now, we know that against silver, especially, that is almost always the case, right? If all metals are, just tanking lower, right, then we know that silver is usually and over time will be underperforming gold. Now, with platinum, that's not as much the case, but in any case, I do think that the combination of platinum breaking out from this 2-year corrective channel and the gold platinum ratio impulsively breaking to the downside are both really good
Huge macro signals.
Signals for what is coming here for platinum. Just look at RSI has now broken, into daily RSI has broken to overbought territory.
Right.
That's
good.
Yeah, that is good. That's another.
See, a lot of people say that's bad.
Yeah, no. It is
no. That's good.
It is actually good. It shows that this market has real strength behind it, right?
Yeah.
And yes, at some point in the near future, within the next few days or whatever, I'm sure that some people are going to be jumping onto the bandwagon a little bit late in the short term. There's going to be some kind of a pullback. Ideally speaking, we might even see a back test of the broken channel if you're lucky. And I'm saying if you're lucky because you know very well that sometimes bull markets don't give you second opportunity to participate. Right?
The stronger the market, the less chance of a retest. But
yeah, so
where's your green line come in, Steve? Up there around 1440. Looks like it was.
Oh no. That green line, just to give you an idea, was when I was talking about platinum a long time ago, when we were trading down there somewhere. I created this green line, which showed the length of the previous impulsive move. Right.
Oh, okay. I got it.
And then extended it from that
quality.
low. Yes, and showed that the natural target, whenever we end up breaking higher, and that was a long time ago, would be 1560, roughly.
Nice.
And
I knew
that's
there
still the
was
case.
rhyme and reason for that line.
Yeah. So it points to the next long-term upside objective for platinum, which is at 1560.
Yeah.
So there is a lot more upside, in my opinion, that's going to be coming in the months ahead for platinum.
Okay. Anything you guys want to say about what's happening, ForexAnalytix, how things are going in the chat room? You have some superstars, or talk about maybe the TFP?
By the way, do we have an interview today?
She canceled.
No.
Okay, we don't have an interview today.
No.
Then we have a little bit of extra time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Then why don't we talk a little bit more about the markets first?
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of people here. I'm sure they all have something to say about it.
Let's take questions from our audience.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So everyone, now's a good time. you know, if you're not a subscriber, you don't get to hear Steve that often. Good time to ask.
It's not only me here. We have Ryan with
I know.
us. We have Kman.
I
We
know.
have Stelios.
Yeah, but you're the star, though.
Anyway,
no, we're all here. We're all here.
You like to talk.
Okay, let's see. We have.
What's the meaning of life?
So let's see. We have questions about USD yen, cable, the guppy.
to live. How's
Okay.
that for an answer?
What, Dale? Sorry. Go again.
Someone wanted to know what
Right.
what the purpose. You know, what's the purpose of life?
To
Happiness.
trade.
That's very easy. Happiness.
To trade.
That's pretty good. Oh, to trade, you lifer. All right. Kman,
Yes.
what is yours? What's your answer?
Did I already not say the meaning of
The purpose of life.
Is to find the best bottles of wine.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a purpose. There's a man. All right. Cool.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to mention on the oils, if we can talk about those for just a little while, because we are absolutely closing the OPEC gaps. And actually Brent this morning, but I know people are looking at WTI, but Brent actually closed more or less the gap. WTI is still working on it, right?
Yeah. We have a little bit more left towards 76 to close the gap. Yeah,
we're still working on it, but being Friday, we can't rule out this thing going to have a little bit of a retest, and it's going to be an interesting watch, I think, if you are a currency trader, you have to watch this one for stuff like Canadian dollar or the Norwegian kroner, which got absolutely
speaking about the Canadian dollar, since you mentioned it, there is a bit of a breakout that has transpired here in the USD CAD.
Yeah.
Although the longer term picture still is muddled, right? We're still in essence in a big consolidation here.
Yeah, absolutely. And but the other one, Norwegian kroner, and that's why I mentioned Brent as well, has absolutely been destroyed this month. If you look at the EURNOK, it's gone up, I think, something like 4.5% so
Let
far.
me pull it up. EURNOK, you said. Here it is.
Yeah. And we are arriving in very interesting levels. If you look back, just where you, stop there. If you look back at the second, not the spike high on the pandemic, but the second high in April or so of that year, it's around the 1170s, and it's
this one.
The second one,
this one,
so
here.
There you go.
1167.
And it's also Fibonacci, and it could be like an extension of moves as well. It's going to be getting very interesting, and as I've said on the Flow Show as well, also the timing of the month, getting into month end, we may see a bit of a shoot there, and I think we are very close to reflection time on that one. Providing that Brent...
Notice also a big daily RSI divergence so far here, despite the new highs.
I think we're very close to reflection time there on this pair in particular. And there's a lot of stuff that can happen. So we have the prices, first of all, Brent, whether it's going to hold or break, really substantially below 80, or also the timing towards the end of the month and into the ECB. So this for me is really one that's going to be very, very firmly on my radar in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, EURNOK indeed entering a very interesting area here.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that, I mean, chasing this move higher is currently very, very dangerous. Of course, I would want to see some kind of a, nice daily reversal to begin with, and some kind of a follow through. So then we can take the other side. It's anyhow very well known that both Stelios and I have been trading on occasion the Noki, and always on the long side. I still believe that the Norwegian economy is a much, much healthier economy than the vast majority of economies out there. And on occasion, the market tends to throw the baby along with the bath water, and Noki is very frequently the baby in this case. So yeah, I'm with you. I think it looks interesting. I hadn't had a look at the EURNOK for several days, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think that the end of the month, ideally actually, which would be the most funny thing, is an overshoot above those 1170s, and then start the next month and break back below, and that's going to be providing, I think, a very good entry. That's anyway the way I look at it.
Speaking of which, we just had Canadian data. Let's see if the USD CAD
Kman
is
living in the future. Love it. Larry Williams says we all live as traders. We all live in the future. We're always, looking ahead.
Canadian retail sales from positive.
Autos minus 0.7 versus minus 0.1 expected. So a bit softer.
Yeah, a lot softer actually. Yes, and just a reminder once again, retail sales are never inflation adjusted. So you have to keep in mind that inflation, if it was taken into account, the number would have been even worse, right? In any case, numbers came negative both in retail sales and core retail sales, while the previous numbers were positive. So definitely worsening picture there having to do with that. USD CAD near the highs of the day. As I said, short-term breakout to the upside. Although the medium-term picture is more one of a triangle, and we're practically in the middle of it, so it's not an easy currency pair to trade if you're looking for medium-term trades here, because in essence we're just oscillating for quite some time. It's only providing some nice short-term opportunities. So it depends, of course, of what kind of a trader you are about it. Why Stelios is not buying Palladium then? Viral is asking. Only Stelios can answer
Palladium?
That. Yeah.
I don't trade Palladium. You mean why I'm not buying Platinum?
Perhaps,
it's a good question.
Perhaps that's what you mean.
Should have been, in hindsight, should have been buying it, but I tend to concentrate in non-physical. Physical, I have gold only, gold coins. In non-physical, I trade silver. It's easier for me to concentrate on one of them. But yeah, in hindsight, I should have been buying Platinum as well. Obviously.
Speaking about silver and gold, I think the jury is still out. I still believe we can see one more leg lower before we continue to the upside, but the jury is still out. Definitely Platinum currently shining a lot brighter the last few days than they do. Of course, on the other hand, there is the flip side of that coin. Platinum had been underperforming for quite some time. Platinum was not following through with the rest of the metals, and suddenly it seems like the market woke up and realized, like, oh, something, if you want to buy something, Platinum seems to not have gone up that much yet, so perhaps that's the opportunity, and now Platinum is actually flying higher. Now, having to do with the previous questions we had, I haven't forgotten about them. One had to do with USD yen, and the other one had to do with the cable and the gappy. Having to do with the cable, we're seeing a consolidation up here. We broke through this channel, and then the market doesn't seem so decided about it. On the other hand, bears don't seem to be able to take control. Although bulls have lost, the momentum, bears have not taken control here. In my opinion, 123.80 remains support. We break through 123.80, then we can actually see cable correcting further. Having to do with the pound yen, though, we've seen a really negative day today. The market, the day before yesterday, approached this significant support resistance area roughly at 168, and we're seeing a little bit of a correction. Although, in my opinion, as long as we trade above 163.50 roughly, this might just be a temporary pullback. Don't forget, the larger picture here also is that the gappy has been appreciating for 3 years now within this ascending channel, right? So the big picture here is that we're in a 3-year uptrend. So, you always need to do a top-down analysis and know what kind of a market you're talking about. So this is a market that has been appreciating for 3 years. So the trend is undeniably higher for the time being. Having to do with USD yen, though, I'm very, very skeptical about it, because The rebound has had corrective characteristics so far. RSI just went back to 60. Usually, anywhere between 40 and 60 is where you see the RSI stop in corrective moves. And with yields, with US yields also having found resistance at 3.6. Let me pull the chart higher. Here it is. I would be very, very careful with USD yen. I think likely USD yen is not done moving lower. So yeah. Let me see if we have any more questions for somebody to answer here from the team.
S&P from Tulin.
S&P, first of all, let me pull up the VIX, right? VIX rebounding, and that is important to note, from 1.5 year almost lows, right? So we had the VIX rates, like, what was it, 15, 16 month lows, and we seem to be rebounding from there, right? At the same time, obviously, the S&P is pulling back. The thing is that I still don't see something bearish here, right? I'm just seeing a little bit of a pullback for the time being. There's nothing more to it. The big picture here is that we've broken higher from this corrective channel. The S&P has been holding up quite nicely. I know that fundamentally speaking, it's not easy to make the case for higher equities, but in my opinion, this is something that usually fuels equity rallies, right? The fact that the market is very skeptical, and rightly so, gives extra support to equities. So despite the little pullback that we've seen so far, I would be very skeptical about trying to, assume that we've reached some kind of a top here and we're about to start tanking lower. I think that you should treat this as an uptrend until proven otherwise. And for the time being, we're far away from proving that that's the case, right? Roughly, I would say as long as we trade above 4,000, and unless we start seeing some really sharp moves to the downside or some kind of an impulsive acceleration lower, which is completely absent at the moment, the path of least resistance is the pain trade, and the pain trade at the moment is, definitively, further upside. So I know it's not easy to buy because of whatever is happening, but on the other hand, in my opinion, it's dangerous selling, right? So personally, I've refrained from trading equities during the past few months, and I'm trading other markets that, in my opinion, seem a lot easier to read and a lot simpler to trade.
Same here. Excellent. Thank you, Steve. That was great as always.
Nice review.
Yeah. So try, for those of you who've been following us here on F.A.C.E, Dale's been, bringing day in, day out great guests. We do all the analysis for you. So it's a good idea to try our 10-day trial, $1. It's really nothing. Go to ForexAnalytix.com. You can try us out.
Well, you know what's told, the full subscription really isn't a lot, because when you think about it, I think a lot of people trade standard lots, right? So
yeah,
what are you talking about per month? 16 pips.
Yeah, it's basically one trade, and you one good trade, and you paid for the month. But yeah.
Anyway,
and also, if you want to trade,
that's not even a good trade.
Yeah, Steve trade.
Steve doesn't trade for 16 pips. I know that.
We've followed the principle since day one, and it's been now 7 years or so. I think in July it's going to be 7 years. We never over promise. We never, we don't want to hype people up or whatever. We always want to be straightforward and honest. What we do honestly provide, and I think there hasn't been anyone that has doubted it over the years, is we provide an environment with people that know what they do, that people can socialize and take ideas from and share ideas and people that know what's happening in the markets, and they provide analysis, they discuss it. At the end of the day, we are there to help people grow as traders and become better at that. We don't do the work for you, because at the end of the day, we just provide an environment for people to become much better in trading if that's what they're looking to do, right?
It's
And
worked
that's
for
all.
me.
And that's all that we promise, and I think that's indeed what we have delivered in multiple ways, because it's not only our analysis, our webinars, the guests that we bring, that the vast majority of them are excellent in what they do there and provide also a nice either overview of the markets or explaining what works for them, and sometimes this can be really enlightening, right?
Can I interject something about the guests?
Of course.
A lot of our guests have their own services, and
Yes.
I actually let them promote it at the end of
Yes.
the interview, if
Yes.
you notice, because we want you to find the best place for you, and so really it's a pretty unselfish thing for us to do, because I challenge anyone to go out there and find companies that bring in outsiders with their own business model and give them the visibility and announce where people could find them.
Practically almost nobody does it, and I know it from
I-
firsthand, because even for Trader Summit, just because it's associated with us, many times we want to bring somebody that's in the competition, and they
Yeah.
have to ask for approval from their company,
Yeah.
and many times they don't
Yeah.
get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not
So, I
afraid
mean,
of the competition. Whatever edifies and
yeah,
helps people, we're more than happy to have the person there,
yeah.
because
No
at the
one,
end of the day, we don't have any inferiority complexes, right? I mean,
yeah, we believe our product stands up against anyone I
exactly.
bring in here. So anyway, that's our, you could call it a pitch, but you know what? Catch the pitch and invest in yourself to have there's plenty of the year left. And there's plenty, the markets have really, some of them really come alive. And I just don't think you could surround yourself with a better group of people every day. Immerse yourself, especially if you're in your first couple of years of doing it. I promise you this, it will accelerate your learning curve. You'll still have to work hard and learn, but it will be at an accelerated pace. So let's wrap it with the tagline. Anyone stepping up to join today? Make a commitment. Just go ahead and do it before the weekend, and then the weekend's a great way. You have time to learn to navigate the site, get the mobile app set up. Anyway, don't think about it. Just do it. I think it's the best money that you'll have invested.
You know that Nike is coming after you now, right?
Who's
Just,
coming after me?
Nike.
All right. Oh, Nike. All right.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I'm old. I'm old and it's early. So, Igor, do you have all the information you need to join the trader funding program? Okay.
If
you
not,
don't,
you can always click the icon on the bottom right.
okay.
One of our staff is going to be there to help.
A lot of people going that way because they get everything. They get ForexAnalytix, depending upon the size of the account they're trying to trade. So, it's like you get the whole package, plus the potential of trading, OPM, other people's money.
Yeah, I think the trader funding program is amazing because it gives you an opportunity to do well with money that you might not want to risk, right? Because you just pay for your assessment, which is a fraction of the money you're looking to trade. And most importantly, and I think this is key, it forces discipline, right? Because the program is made in a way that it forces you to be disciplined. And this is great because
it's not natural. It's not natural. Yeah.
Sometimes when you're trading even your own money, you're
I
not
lose
that
it.
disciplined because there is no specific cutoff, right? There is no specific rule. I mean, you might do a mistake, you pay with your own money, of course, but nobody's gonna, just tell you that, you broke the rule and that's it, right? So trader funding program, except of the obvious providing you an opportunity to trade a much larger account than you would be willing to trade or had the ability to trade, it forces you discipline. And this discipline is, in my opinion, the number one thing that can help you progress. If you don't have discipline, even if you're talented, in my opinion, it's a matter of time to blow up your account. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because I've
no matter how gifted you are.
Yeah, it's happened to me. Anyway, so that's it. Everyone have a great weekend. Team, thank you again for another great week, Kman and Ryan.
Everybody.
And
thanks, everyone.
Stell, and
have a great weekend.
Hope Blake gets off the plane, and and we'll see everyone Monday. And
don't just count your pips.
Yeah,
count
your blessings. And I bet there's going to be a couple of people from today to Monday that make the decision to hang out with us. And with that, everyone have a great weekend. Thank you very much hope we're adding value. That's our mission. So see you, team. Have a good weekend, guys. I'm sure you're going to some exotic island on a catamaran. Well, it gets up to about 90 here.
Not yet. 3 weeks from now, not yet.
All right. All right.